So that's why the 35,000 Americans for Prosperity activists here in New Hampshire have signed up and have taken part. And we have a lot of people who are working hard to help out. I want to introduce one. Now, it's not just because her office was right next to mine in my last job, but also because she's a great spokesperson for economic prosperity, and as a former deputy speaker of the New Hampshire House of Representatives, Pam Tucker.
First off, thank you all for coming, and I just want to say this is a nonpartisan event. I know Greg mentioned that. This is nonpartisan. It's an issue-driven organization. But the good news is everyone here probably thinks the same way I do. That's low taxes, low spending, and get the government out of our lives. Well, AFP has been a very powerful voice in New Hampshire. I didn't know they've been here since 2008. My first experience with them was back in 2011 on the right to work vote. And I can say that AFP was extremely instrumental in helping us. Despite the outcome, the outcome was not what we wanted. However, the awareness that they brought to this, to getting the message out there to the people, is what we need to do. And AFP does an excellent job of doing that. And since their institution in 2008, they are the leading organization in this state that has raised the awareness, not on this, but a lot of issues. For instance, in the spring, I bet all of you heard about that gas tax. There was 67% increase. AFP was out there with us on that, promoting that. I already talked about right to work.
Promoting beating it.
Beating it, yeah, we don't. They've been hammered about adding taxes in the budget, whether it was a VAT tax, any type of tax on businesses, be it canoes or dinghies. They've been out there with us on that. Also, locally, recently, they've been talking about advocating for the rainy day fund. You know, we've depleted that in the budget, where they used it all up because the current governor and House like to spend money. So they're talking about, well, let's replenish it. We're trying to make our state very fiscally responsible. And more importantly, they have been an outstanding voice against the federal encroachment, especially right now about health care. And I'm talking specifically about Obamacare. AFP has been out there talking about the Medicaid expansion that will cost every single one of us dollars. They began it last summer with the Wrong for New Hampshire campaign. And you may remember that. That was a campaign where they went around to different towns and gathered local people and told them exactly what Medicaid expansion and Obamacare means to them. And I tell you what, it helped out in my town as well. I had a couple of my constituents show up at an event. They're like, oh wow, we didn't know that, because as much as we try and get the message out there, we need another voice, and AFP has been giving us that voice. And if you look at AFP's website, if you ever have any questions about Obamacare and the expansion of Medicaid, go out on the website. There is so much information. There's over hundreds of posts out there about it, about all of the press releases of what it's going to do to us and do to our economy. But we know, even though it's a battle we're still fighting, we've still got quite a few to go. We just got back in session. I'm still a representative up in the House. And I know that when we're up there, when these big important issues come up, say Medicaid expansion again, AFP is going to be there with us. All of those who are in elected positions, we're going to keep fighting for less taxes and less regulation. It's not in our favors, but I tell you what, 2 weeks ago in the House, we went through 10 bills. This is a record. We're in the minority. The people who want low taxes and low spending are in the minority. Of the 10 bills, we overturned 5 of the committee recommendations. That is phenomenal when you're in the minority. And it can't be done alone. We've got to be out there. We've got to have a voice out there. Every one of us has to be talking, writing letters to the editor, and letting people know that these policies are bad for us. It's going to increase our taxes and increase government regulations. And as we finish out this session and move into the fall, into the election cycle, I'm very confident that AFP is going to be there fighting these bills with us, and I can't thank you and Corey and Ross and Matt for helping us out in the next couple months. Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
And thank you, Pam. She's really going to be there.
Crop TV.